Hey, it's Michael V. Moore, aka McVinny, aka Mr. Travel Fitness. And today I want to talk to you about a particular diet that most people don't know about unless you're actually in the bodybuilding circles and you follow this website. So I'm going to talk to you about the Velocity diet. So the Velocity diet was written specifically on a bodybuilding website. This bodybuilding website is called tnation.com, which is short for testosterone.com. And what it was pretty much the website started to create its own supplements. And if you know anything about me, I really don't promote supplements. I don't have a supplement sponsor or anyone like that. So I wouldn't say that's the reason I don't sponsor supplements, but I'm a big believer in you should eat your supplements. But me being a person that deals with travel fitness and I deal with a lot of people that travel, and I know what that's like. There's certain parts of the world where you travel to where it's just going to be almost impossible to get really great quality food sources, especially protein sources. So in those special circumstances, I understand why a person would want to have a supplement such as protein powder, fish oil supplements, vitamins with them as they go on these long trips because you want to have something. It's better to have something than nothing at all. But for the majority of people that live in the comforts of their United States home or wherever they live, too many people I think rely on supplements a little too much, and that's one of the reasons I don't promote it too much. But as far as this diet is concerned, it is pretty much like 95% all about supplements. And in particular, I want to talk about the Velocity diet because I felt that as a travel fitness coach, it's one of these diets that people who travel frequently might think about experimenting with it down the road. And it's a free plan. It's pretty much written out there for free. The only thing is the company expects you to utilize their supplements. And so what happens a lot of times is people who try to diet, they will not do the diet as prescribed. They will buy other supplements to do this other company supplements diet plan, which I find very ironic. Is the plan was written specifically for this group of supplements so that you will buy their products and use it for their diet, and then everyone is like trying to make versions of it utilizing different supplements. So of course, if you do that, what's going to happen is you're not going to get the same results as everyone that is actually doing the Velocity diet the way it's written. So I'll get a little more in detail about that. But pretty much when it comes towards the Velocity diet, the whole thinking is that you get a lot of quality protein in the day and eliminate all the trash out. So the premise is pretty much to build up really, really good eating habits again by slowly introducing your body to more protein, and then just these few supplements are the nutrients and macronutrients that your body needs. So they have like the superfood. Again, it's a supplement. Instead of eating, your vegetables and vitamins, they just put it all in this one supplement called superfood. And I admit I am a greens slash superfood supplement. I do like those supplements when it comes towards people who do live very busy lives and you're in a rush on occasion to have those. I'm a big fan of that because I know there's a big part of my life where that's all I used to have is the greens plus or superfood. A biotest is superfood in the mornings. But again, you should be eating your vegetables. But I'm going to stick to the diet. So with the Velocity diet, the whole thing was you get all your nutrients in, and you have about 4 to 5 shakes a day. And this is where the Velocity diet has changed over the years. So when the Velocity diet was first written, what it was you get these high quality protein shakes with you add a couple of things. So most of the time it was the superfood. You add some fish oil capsules throughout the day. So that's where you go getting your healthy fats from. And then the original version of the diet, you were actually getting healthy fats from like a peanut butter and flaxseed. So you were adding those to your shakes. And then over the course of 1 week, you will have on your weekend, you will have one actually physically healthy small meal. And a healthy small meal would contain a lean protein source, some type of carbohydrate, like a potato, like a healthy carbohydrate on top of potato, maybe rice, but maybe some fruit, something simple and healthy. and then actually, lots of vegetables. And so the idea was not for you to gorge yourself, but just have this healthy, simple, small meal. And that was your one solid meal of the week. And the diet only was meant to last for 28 days. So pretty much 4 weeks. And by doing this, you were basically getting your appetite back to where it should be. Okay, so that's how the diet originated. And over time, like everything, you get more people that do the diet, you have ups and downs, and they kind of tweak the diet. So this is where I came to play. So I actually have done this diet in the past. So the first time I ever did the diet actually was when I was traveling. That's what attracted me to the diet. Back in 2013, I was in the process of moving from Las Vegas back to Virginia, and I was in long-term housing at the time. I was staying at some residence inns for a little bit, and then I actually got like a corporate housing. And when I was in the corporate housing, I used to never have that much time to cook because what I was doing, I was always on the road and I was involved in a training program and I just didn't have time. And I wanted to be healthy because everyone in the class that I was in and all the fellow people I was training with, they knew me as the healthy guy because that's what I got a reputation for, is Mr. Healthy person. And I used to tell them about how I can usually go in a store and buy a whole a whole 12 pack of donuts and eat it in one setting. And that became the joke because literally some of our instructors for the classes I was in and the courses I was taking, they would bring in some donuts and then everyone would blink their eyes and all of a sudden I had like 4 or 5 donuts. Okay. So it just used to crack people up that, Mr. Fitness guy over there can like put away the junk food so easily. And so I saw myself kind of going down that path and I kind of want to clean up my diet because it was a very stressful time. Extremely stressful, which is why I was gravitating towards the junk food for a little bit. But I remember what my plan was. So I heard about the velocity diet. I always wanted to do the velocity diet. And I only wanted to, I think, drop like 5 to 7 pounds at that time. I really didn't care how much I weighed. It was just more or less, I kind of just wanted to get my body back towards eating the healthier foods. Because I at that time, I don't know, I was probably like 205, trying to get down to 200. I can't remember the details, but I do remember getting on the diet. So I did the diet as it was prescribed back then. And again, back then it was like flaxseed, peanut butter. That's where you were getting your fats from, and the fish oil. And so what it was is basically it was 5 shakes, as a matter of fact. And if you had a workout day, you actually had 6 shakes because that shake you had when you worked out was specifically catered towards recovery. Okay, and so pretty much you had 2 different meals, I guess you could say. You had your workout meals and your non-workout meals. And so the overall baseline for myself when I was going through this, during my workout days, I was eating about 1,920 calories. On my non-workout days, I was eating about 1,590 calories. So that was like a difference of 400, which was basically the workout shake. That was the difference in these days. So it was definitely a low carb diet. On the workout days, I eat about 117 grams of carbohydrates, whereas on my non-workout days, it was around 66 grams of carbohydrates, and on both days, about 43 grams of fat. Okay, and for protein is concerned, on my workout days, it was 266 grams of protein, and on my non-workout days, it was around 240 grams of protein. So that was a lot more than enough protein in my system because anyone that follows like the bodybuilding model of protein, as long as you get about 1 gram per lean body mass, you're pretty good. Or your body weight, that's pretty much good enough. You don't need to go twice more than that. That's going overboard. But with this diet, they just wanted to bump the protein up just a little bit just to keep you sane. Okay. So that was the first time I did the diet, and I'll admit, it's a little of adjustment period, especially when drinking those shakes every single day. The first couple of days, I just felt really bloated because of the flaxseed oil. Like you actually took, real flax seeds and ground it up yourself in these shakes. So you really needed a blender to do it back in those days. But the problem is everyone reacts to flaxseed a little differently, and I think I was one of those people where I got pretty gassy, and in addition to the healthy oils that was in flaxseed, the reason they wanted it in the diet was because of the fiber contents of it. So they were trying to get fiber some way into the diet, and that's where it was coming from. So I did have a success. So after a while, the first time, my weight did start dropping, and I got used to the diet. The pretty cool thing was I didn't have cravings throughout the day. The sweet tooth I had, because the shakes you're drinking are pretty sweet anyways, the cravings go away. And by the time you have that one healthy meal a day, you're so used to having those shakes, it's hard to really go overboard with those meals. I do remember that part. The meals were pretty small, and then you just repeat it. So I did that for exactly 4 weeks. I actually documented my progress on their website. They had a forum that allowed you to document how you did, and I was doing pretty good. I documented everything. Um, at the time I started to finish the diet, I remember my wife was able to come and visit me, and she actually took photos of me, and we did measurements. And there was a little bit of a difference, and you can see in the pictures somewhat difference. But I'll be the first to admit, at that time period, I was actually I kind of left this part out. So when you're doing the velocity diet, they do actually have a prescribed workout, and I highly recommend you just do the prescribed workout as is, so you can actually get the results that they want you to get. So by me doing that workout and stuff, I didn't really see this big body difference. Yeah, my waist was just a little bit, but it wasn't like this significant major change. So I think I lost anywhere between 5 and 10 pounds the first time I did it. I'm pretty sure it was closer to 10 pounds. But body wise, I didn't like go from like just average to super chiseled or anything like that. No, none of that happened. I did notice my conditioning did get better. So what it was is, if you do the programs prescribed, they basically have 3 weightlifting days, and then you have one like super circuit conditioning day where you try and do the circuits as fast as possible. And each week you try and get your time better and better. So that was me back then. And the difference between that and me now is, if you've been following me, I had food poisoning, and I decided to do this as a way to get my body used to eating solid foods again. So I'm pretty much 100% recovered now, and I probably could eat more solid foods, but I kind of want to gradually get my body used to eating solid foods. So with me, I normally eat 2 big meals a day. That's how I've been doing. I do intermittent fasting. I've been doing intermittent fasting since 2011, so that's normal for me. So I figured I would do the velocity diet as a way to change things up. And also, they changed the diet up somewhat. So I wanted to see how this would go for travelers as well now. And I do think it's a good diet for travelers to experiment on. Those who actually work out already. If you're a person and you don't have good eating habits, or you don't even know how to eat protein to begin with, you don't need this diet. This is overkill for you. If you never go to the gym, this is overkill for you. You don't need to buy a whole bunch of supplements just to get yourself in shape. You're going backwards. You're not understanding just how to eat and get basic habits down before this. This is more for those folks who've been working out for a while, I feel, and just want to lose a couple more extra pounds. Or especially if I really was, I am a coach and everything, but if I had a client and I know the client was probably like anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds away from their overall goal, and I saw that they were consistent over their months, over the year, whatever, I think this is a great wrap-up diet, because this will get you towards that final mark. Whereas people who are like the beginning of the journey, I feel this is definitely overkill. You're basically trying to chase that magic pill in 4 weeks. And so you're going to lose a lot of weight in 4 weeks, yeah, if you do it the way it's prescribed. But you're going to be dropping so many calories so quickly, it's a waste. Because what's going to happen is, once you get off the diet, you're not going to understand how to gradually come off the diet. You're going to go back to your bad eating habits again. And that's not what this diet is about. This diet is more for those who have a good idea but just want to lose a couple pounds real quick. Okay, so I say that for the traveler. So if I was working with a traveling client and they were down to like the last 5 to 10 pounds, I would gladly put them on this, say, hey, just try this out while you're on that trip, or while you're stuck somewhere, and just follow it, follow it. And if they're disciplined enough, they'll see results. If you're not disciplined enough, you shouldn't even be trying this diet, because if you don't follow the plan as written, it's not going to work. And that's 99.99% of the people who have great results followed the diet the way it was. They didn't add stuff. They didn't try other supplements. They did what the company recommended because this is their diet. They're the ones that put it together, so respect that. So saying all that, as I record this video, I'm actually at the halfway point of my 28 days. And for me, um, the biggest adjustment for this new version of the diet is the fact you have a healthy meal every single day. I think the fact that you can actually eat physical food every single day makes this plan much easier than their original plan. The original plan was one solid meal a week. This is not 2 meals a week, sorry, 7 meals a week, where every day you get at least a healthy meal. And by you having that healthy meal, I feel you're better able to adapt towards after the 28 days are over, because you get to start taking those shakes away and start replacing them with solid meals, and you understand that what size portions you need, so to speak, to get through your day. And I feel it's just a better transition. So far I'm loving it. It's pretty easy. um, I In my first week, I lost 11 pounds. So for those, like I said, that know, I had food poisoning and I started letting bad foods creep into my diet. So that's why I wanted to get on it, was sort of get my habits back. That first week I lost 11 pounds. So that's way too many pounds to lose in 1 week. And a lot of that was, water weight and just fake, I call fake weight. So it was me just eating sugary stuff, and I balloon up naturally if I eat too much sugary carbohydrate stuff. And so the fact I lost 11 pounds the first week, the second week, my weight actually went up. And so that meant I lost a total of 9 pounds those first 2 weeks. And for some people who don't understand how weight loss works, they're like, oh my gosh, you gain weight. Oh my gosh. And it's like, no. In 2 weeks, I lost 9 pounds. That's 4.5 pounds a week. That's pretty awesome. That's not easy to do. Okay. And then on top of that, I wasn't even really looking just at the scale. I was actually doing my waist measurement. And what you see with my waist actually was shrinking. So when I started this, I was around 36. I ballooned up to 36. I was around 35 before I got my food poisoning. But my balloon went up to around 36. And so that first week, I noticed my waist really wasn't going down that much. But then the second week, I noticed I did lose a full inch. So 34.5 inches was around what my waist was by the end of my second week. And so I'm seeing those results. And so I do think that the diet is good. But I will admit, as far as the supplements, okay. So I was documenting my progress on my Instagram account, and I actually was talking about the pre-workout drink, because now they have a totally different pre-workout drink called Plasma, whereas before their workout drink was called Surge. And I was a big fan of Surge for many, many years, and I was used to it. Basically, Plasma is like an upgraded version of Surge, and to me, it's a very expensive version of Surge. And I could not for the life of me understand like why pay all this money for it. So I created a video and I was like, yeah, I don't see no difference in it. So I actually went to the gym and drank the Plasma in the AM before I actually took my first meal, my first, real shake of the day or anything like that. And I kind of trained on an empty stomach except for with the Plasma. And I will admit that when I train like that, I don't know if it's because my body, I was practicing intermittent fasting, which means, I don't eat for like 16 hours. I normally work out pretty much on a semi-empty stomach. Maybe that's why when I was training with Plasma, only Plasma system, my workout was so much better, because that's what I was kind of used to. But I did notice a difference in that day where I can feel like, okay, I think the prepare workout nutrition is actually doing its job this day. Whereas every other day when I worked out around noon, I had like 1 or 2 shakes in me. I didn't really notice this big difference. I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm king of the world or anything like that. So that's why I'm not a big supplement person. I kind of think they're overblown. People think that they need the supplements more than they do. And remember, it's all about marketing and advertising, and these companies are advertising to us. So I'm going to keep playing around with the Plasma, but for me personally, I don't think it's something I would want in my diet every single day, because I'm not that elite bodybuilder right now. If I was an athlete, seriously, like burning a lot of calories, running every single day, I can understand some of these workout drinks. But for the average Joe, it's overkill. You just need to get your nutrition right. and understand how to eat around your workout. True, yeah, that is a very key component, is learning how to eat and drink around your workout so that you can have the substance you need to carry on. But as far as the money and all that stuff, I think it's overkill. You don't need a lot of this stuff. All right, so in a nutshell, for me with the Velocity diet, I do think it's a great diet for travelers who are closer towards their goal than if they're just starting out. You're just starting out, you got so much wiggle room that it's a waste. You don't want to go on something this strict so quickly. Take your time, just look at the big picture and get to where you gotta go to eventually. Don't be in a rush. Okay. So this is my quick recap of the Velocity diet so far. This is what's going on with me. I'm still seeing results. I feel good. It's all a healthy diet. At the end of the day, it's all about eating healthy. Even though there's supplements, it is about putting healthy stuff in your body. And oh yeah, before I go, I will admit that I was not perfect on this diet yet. There was a couple of days, as a matter of fact, when I was doing my diet, Memorial Day weekend so happened to fall, so there was a lot of barbecues. And on one of those barbecue days, I did sneak a little cake and some slices of pie into my diet. And I will say that I did not like the cake. The pie was okay, but the cake was just too sweet. And I know it's because I'm in the middle of this cycle where you're so used to eating these foods and having the better eating habits that you do notice when something is too sweet. And right now, cake is like way too sweet. So that's good. That shows that I don't need it in my life right now, and I'm on the right path. So that's it. Hope you take care, and I'll see you next time.